All right, hey there everybody. So this has been kind of a long unit, but congratulations. Today we are covering the last topic in this unit, so yay! And this topic is the surface area. So I can compute surface area of rectangular and triangular prisms. Okay, so let's do our warm-up. In the warm-up we're going to be talking about volume some more. So find the volume of the following figures. Okay, so let's find the volume of this guy. This is a rectangular prism. Well, the rectangular prism, you can't go wrong with the base. Any side you choose could work as the base as long as you choose a different dimension for the height. For me, it's easiest just to think about the side on the bottom being the base. I'm coloring in the base right now, or at least the base that I chose. And you can see it's 4 by 5. For a rectangle, area is length times width. So 4 times 5 gives us 20. So the area of the base equals 20 because 4 times 5 equals 20. Okay, and as you remember, for volume, it's going to be big B. Big B represents the area of the whole base. So that's the whole purple area. Big B times the height. So what is my big B? Well, I just figured it up. It's going to be 20 because the area of this rectangle is 20. Now what's the height? Well, that's going to be this coming upwards. So what's the label on that? It looks like 7. 4 refers to this line right here. So 7's got to be this line right here, which is what we want. So big B equals 20 and H equals 7. So volume is going to equal 20 times 7, which equals what? 140, right? So 140 yards cubed. Always put that 3 on it when you're talking about volume. And that's how you do that one. Now over here with a triangular prism, you have to be a little bit more careful how you choose the base. When you have a triangular prism, make sure that your base is a triangle. If you're choosing a rectangle for your base, you're going to get the wrong answer. Unless you're in a rectangular prism, then it would be fine, right? But if you're in a triangular prism, make sure you use your triangle for a base. So here's a nice looking triangle that I'm going to use for the base. So I'm not going to shade it all the way in because I don't want to cover up all my numbers, but basically that surface is what I'm going to use for the base. It looks like we have a base, in other words, there's big B for the area of the base. But then there's also our area of a triangle, which is 1/2 base times height. That's the little b. Now, what is the little b in this triangle? Well, that base is going to be a 10. So area equals 1/2 times 10 times the height, which looks like it's 4. And you do the math on that, you're going to get 1/2, 5 times 4 is going to be 20. So the area of the triangular base is 20. So you can say that big B equals 20. And now remember, our volume is this. Volume equals big B times height. So let's just fill that in. Volume equals base, which is 20, times the height. Okay, what is the height of this prism? It looks like we're building up this way, getting higher, higher, higher. If you were doing stacks of triangles, they'd be stacking up this way. And so this number right here is the height. So the volume equals 20 times 7, which equals 140. So 140 yards cubed, which is the same one as that. Isn't that funny? It just worked out that way. Okie dokie, so that was our review on volume. Let's talk about some surface area now. Okay, it says there are many problems that are easier to solve when we break a big problem down into smaller parts, right? Like any kind of big problem, you're going to just kind of think through it and divide it down into its smaller parts. When we compute volume, we build up from the area of the base, right? Yeah. With surface area, so write the word surface there. With surface area, we'll be breaking the prism apart. With surface area, we find the area of all the faces of the figure and then add them up. So I have a little box here. Does anybody like yogurt raisins? I have this cute little box of yogurt raisins, and this is, if you think about it, it's a rectangular prism, right? So if we were finding the surface area of this box, we'd have to find the area of this side and add it to the area of that side, and add it to the area of that side, and add it to the area of that side, and add that to the area of this side and this side. I think I counted them all once. I hope I didn't do it twice. But basically, add up the area of each of the sides. And you have all these matching sides, right? Like the area of this is going to be the same as the area of that, right? Now what about this? This area is going to be the same as this area, and this area is going to be the same as this area. So basically, you're just going to be finding the area of the 3 different unique sides. So find this area, multiply it by 2. Find this area, multiply it by 2, and find that area and multiply it by 2. That way you don't have to do it 6 times. You're only doing it 3 times and then just doubling it because all these sides are paired up. Okay, so let's look at what they have written here. Here they wanted you to say it can be helpful to draw the net of a figure. Guys, you don't have to worry about this. What they're talking about here is, like, have you ever seen a cube taken apart and it starts to look kind of like this, and then, you know, if you fold it up it forms a cube? That is really cool and I love it. But for me, taking this apart into a shape like this and putting all the right numbers in the right place, I find that confusing. That's what this is set up for. And again, you don't have to worry about it. Now, if you would like to do it that way, you go for it. Absolutely do it. But for me, I'm going to be just showing you how to find the different sides and then multiplying them by 2. Okay? So let's do that with this one. So now, like we talked about, the top and the bottom are going to be the same, right? So what does that on this figure? Of course, this looks different than my box of yogurt raisins, but that's okay. It's the same idea. So this purple side that I've just outlined, it's going to have the same surface area as this side, right? So let's figure out what that is. It's going to be, let's do purple. It's going to be length times width, 5 times 4. It's going to be 20. Purple equals 20. And now we're going to multiply that by 2 because we've got 2 of them. And we're going to get 40. Okay, let's go to a different color for a different side. And you guys feel free to color code at home too if you want. So let's do this little side, the one that's on the left. This green one is going to match up with which other side? This one here, right? Okay. Now, what are the dimensions of the green one? Along the bottom, it looks like it's 4. I'm going to actually write that there. And then going up, it looks like that is a 7. So I'm going to write that there. So the green one is going to be 4 times 7, which is 28. And of course, we need to multiply that by 2 because there's 2 of them. And that gives us 56. Okay, let me find another color here. I've got pink back here. So we'll do this face that's forward here. The one that's facing us is like this. And then there's the one in the back that matches up with it too, right? Starting to look a little bit messy, but see if you can just keep them all apart in your head. So this pink one, it's got a bottom side of 5 and then the upward side of 7. 5 times 7 equals 35. And then guess what? We're going to multiply it by 2. And that's just going to give us 70. Now, once we have these 3 numbers, we're just going to add them up for a total. And I find that easier with a calculator, so let's just go for it. 40 plus 56 plus 70 equals 166. And feel free to use a calculator anywhere you want to along the way. I meant to write those dimensions here on this. Let's see. That was the top. It was 5 by 4. So 5 by 4. There we go. So you have one of each of those 3 faces. You find the area, you multiply them by 2, and you add them up. We got 166, and what kind of units are we going to put on that? Surface area. It's a 3-dimensional shape, but when you're talking about area, specifically in this case surface area, it's actually just in 2 dimensions. So we're going to put yards squared because it's area, not volume. So there we go, 166 yards squared. All right, let's look at the triangular prism. So this is a little bit different. Let's talk about matching sides. You're going to have the top. Now it is going to have the same area as the bottom, right? Because they're both matching triangles. But what about these 3 sides? You've got this one facing us, and this one kind of going back that way, and then one kind of going back that way. Those are all 3 different. So we're going to have, well, we'll figure it up. We've got the triangle. Let's figure it up first, and it's going to be times 2. So our triangle, it's got a height of 4. I wrote this way too small, but that's a 4. And it has a base of 10. So let's do the math. 1/2 base times height. Let's see, 10 times 4 is 40. Cut it in half. We're going to get 20 for that area, right? So the area of this pink triangle is 20, and this one is 20 also. So we're going to do 20 times 2 because there's 2 of them. So the triangles are going to be 40. Okay, now let's figure out our other sides. Let's do the side that's facing us. That's this one right here. I'm going to write it there. It looks like it's 10 by 7. 10 by 7. It's kind of nice to have it written down just in case, you know, little brother comes in and interrupts you, and that way you can remember where you are and pick it back up. 10 by 7 equals 70. Now, is there another face like this? Do I need to multiply it by 2? Nope, it's the only one, so we're just going to leave it like that. Now, there's another one, another face that's kind of pointing towards the back and the left, and it is 8. Let me go ahead and draw my rectangle. It's going to be 8 by, what's the height here? Oh yeah, it looks like it's 7, so it's going to be 8 by 7. So it has a surface area of 56. Are there 2 of these? No, there's only one. Okay, and then there's one more side. I'm running out of colors, so I'm going to do pencil. And it's this side that kind of faces towards the back and the right. And I'll draw it here. It looks like that top side is 5, and the side going this way is 7. It's going to be then 5 times 7 equals 35. Is there another one of those? Nope. That was our last side. We're all set. Now what do we do with all these numbers? We're going to add them together to find the total surface area for this whole triangular prism. So again, back to my calculator, 40 plus 70 plus 56 plus 35. And that's going to give me 201. So my surface area for this triangular prism is 201, again, yards squared for surface area. Alrighty guys, so feel free to color code, use those highlighters if it helps, and tell people not to interrupt you, because it's really easy to forget what sides you've done and which sides you haven't done. Alright, let's do a couple more, and then we'll take a quick look at the assignment. Okay, so how about we start with this? It doesn't matter which ones you start with. I'm just choosing whatever jumps out at me. So this one that I've outlined in pink matches this one. And let's just draw it here. The dimensions are 8 by 9. And there's going to be 2 of them, so we have to double it. 9 times 8 is 72. And you double 72, you get 144. Okay, let's switch colors. All right, green. We're going to go for this big side that's going off this way. So that's this one. It looks like it's 12 on that side, and it's 9 on this side, right? So we'll do 12 times 9. Oh, and I forgot that's also the same as this side, so let's take care of that one. There we go. So 12 times 9, what is that going to be? Oh, I always forget this one. Is it 108? I should probably double check that. So we're just going to be sure. 12 times 9, thank goodness, and then times 2 equals 216. Alrighty then, and now let's grab our purple. It looks like, oh, that's not purple. There we go. It looks like this bottom side is the one we haven't done yet. Let's draw it. It has a length here of 8. And what's its other length? This side, oh, that's the same as this side, right? So that's going to be a 12. It's kind of easier to see the measurements over on this one, so it'd be fine if you use that too. 8 by 12. And 8 times 12 is 96, and we're going to double that also. Let's see. And we're going to get 192. Okay, phew. Lots of multiplication and adding and writing, but we're almost there. Now we just have to add all of these up, and we will have our total surface area. So we've got 144 plus 216 plus 192. Let's bring that where you can see it. So 144, 216, 192 equals 552. What was the units? It looks like it was centimeters, and we're going to have to put centimeters squared because we're talking area. And there you go. Whoop. There you go. All right, one more to do. It's a triangular prism. So let's do our same drill. We're going to outline this triangle, and for the triangle, there's 2 of them. So there's this triangle. It looks like this, and it's actually helpful for me to draw this with the right angle so I can kind of think through where's the base and the height, and I can actually get the formula for my triangle, for the area of a triangle. I kind of drew over it, but the right angle is right here. Kind of like what I wrote here, so it's also right here. And that side is 4, and this side is 3. So you can use 3 as the base and 4 as the height, or you could reverse them, it doesn't matter. So 4 times 3 is 12. Take half of it because of the formula, and you're going to get 6. 1/2 base times height. Now you do have to double it because there's 2 of them, so let's go ahead and multiply it by 2, and you're back to 12. Perfect. And there's that side taken care of. Okay, let's do the bottom next. What is the size of this rectangle? Looks like we have a 3 here, so I'll put a 3 there. And what's this length here? It looks like it's 11. So 3 times 11 equals 33. Okay, got that one done. Now let's do the back side. So this rectangle here, let's draw it. It looks like along the top it's clearly 11. What about down here? It looks like it's a 4. 4 times 11 is 44. And then I'll use my pencil for the front side. So this rectangle here, I'll draw it. It's got 11 along the top. And then down on this side, it has got a 5. There we go. So that's going to be 55. And what's our final step? We got to add all these numbers up together. And let's do that with our calculator. 12 plus 33 plus 44 plus 55, those are easy to remember, gives me 144. So the surface area is 144 inches squared. Okay, so let's take a quick peek at the assignment together. You know what, it's 2 pages and each problem takes quite a bit of doing, so you know what I'm going to say? I'm going to say do the front page only. Let's just do numbers 1 through 6 only. 1 through 6 only. Now, is there anything different about any of these problems? Not really. Oh, wait a second. What about the triangles? There's no triangles on here. Hang on, I gotta pause this. All right, so there are no triangles on here, and that's fine. We're going to be doing the triangles tomorrow. So I'll give you a couple examples of those when we get there, but for today, just focus on these rectangular prisms. Like I said, 1 through 6 only. Okay, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye!